Jobava Man of Culture, here we meet again. Yesterday, I have to say I did something pretty degenerate, which is the fact that I've spent the majority of my day researching vacuum cleaners, but luckily I also had time to still participate in the Title Tuesday tournament, which is, what we're going to be doing in this video. I'm going to be walking you through the live commentary of the best games, and who knows? If you watch till the end, maybe I will even give you my vacuum cleaner advice. Although you cannot know for sure, this is why I am a master at not only chess, but also at building suspense. So I think that should be pretty much enough for introduction. So let's dive right into the games. Oh, we get white pieces against 2900 Fidemaster Vitic. Very fast player. I played him before many times. Wow, d6. So we cannot do Jobava London, sadly, but let's see what it's going to be. So it's going to be Philidor, and I'm going to stick with the knight e2, just try to play it a bit safe, sort of lazy approach. On c6, I like a4 to stop b5, and we'll just do simple fianchetto. So this is not like the most ambitious setup for white, but my goal is to play quick moves, get my pieces developed, and get a game. Of course, black, if played properly, black can equalize against this line, but judging by the way my opponent's playing, I think I should be slightly better, although knight c5 is coming. So it could make sense to take with the bishop, so that on knight c5, interesting to give it up. Because knight d4, knight c5, not so easy to protect d4. Because if I play f3, then bishop remains undefended, it will give him d5. So inclined to take with the bishop, and the plan is to take, which is on one hand giving up the bishop, but on the other hand trying to play for an interesting pawn structure. After the capture and then f4, e5. Okay, it's very unbalanced position. I could hope for an edge. I can also play it safer with f3. And on knight e6 to say we can keep with bishop f2. Okay, let's play it safer. d5. So e5, f4 is standard. Taking on d5 means nothing special. And f4. Supporting, black plays f6. So this is yet again pretty standard. If he plays this opening, usually my opponent is still in familiar territory for sure. Looks like I have not much of a choice but to take. And now some g4, knight g3, I'm wondering. Also knight e6 might be happening. g4, knight e4, knight takes, knight takes, knight c3. Yeah, let's play that way. So g4, just something useful, preparing a knight move. Case of knight e6, bishop can slide back. My opponent is doing fine. I said a little bit earlier that I should be slightly better. I think that was just maybe a bit over-optimistic, as usual. But okay, knight e6 and bishop e5, b6. He wants that. Pretty obvious. Knight g3 and rook e1. If the rook gets attacked. Don't you hate it when YouTubers say, okay, he attacked a piece, and they mistakenly say a different piece out loud, and you hear streamers saying, oh, now I just have to move my knight. I'll move my knight to e1. Okay. I don't get it personally. I have never misspoken a word in my life, and you know it. If you're a regular viewer, might have misplaced some chess. That's a different story. Okay, knight e6. So bishop e5, he wants to check me. Bishop e5, knight d7. Bishop's getting chased. Playing with bishop e3 is d4. Can also take, and he takes with queen. Very bit annoying. Oh, maybe some bomba on d5. Yes, maybe some bomba on d5. Can we do it? Otherwise, if not, my bishop's getting toasted. How disastrous is it to go f5 and then take with the rook? I'm losing bishop pair, my dark squares are a Schweizer. Okay, I have to take it. Okay. Okay. f5, fret. e6, fret. Okay. I might be still losing, but at least we're losing in an interesting fashion now. So, positive news on that. Don't play queen e2 because bishop takes. Note for self. Queen e1. Idea is to play f5 and have rook protected. While also I'm doing it with a tempo. So queen f4 also, my knight's defended queen f4, maybe bishop 8. I might accidentally be cooking this game. Queen f4, rook e6, also playing for mate. I just realized I can take with queen and then do that. Wait, so rook e6? No. This has to be good for me. Nah, I made mistake. I just rushed. Why not take with bishop and then his queen is passive? Such a silly mistake. Should have taken bishop and then moved. Now endgame will be bishop pair compensation for 2 pawns. Very tough to do something. I just, I guess, miscalculated. Yeah, now endgame will be very tough. His rook is threatening to infiltrate. I have to play some knight e4. Stopping the infiltration, stopping the check. Okay, maybe at least bishop gets support. If bishop b7, I do rook e1. I get a bit of a grip. So I have my pieces protected. My king is not the safest. Let's play c3. Cover square. Maybe f5. F-pawn could be pushing. King f2. Could do f6 if I want safety first, but no, we never played it safe on this channel ever. You don't come here for safety first. This is not how to play chess safe guide. Okay, king e3. Maybe it should be. Bishop d7, that pawn's getting attacked. I'll play b3, I'll give him the trade. Gives me easier play. Bishop d5, what are we doing here? Vitik. Okay. I don't know why I did that. Yes, bishop b7. I should just make moves. I gave him a pawn. I was hoping for something. Okay, knight f7 idea. At least transitioning to somewhat more of a clear rook endgame. Whatever that means. Knight f7. Knight f7. Capturen. And then rook b7. Oh, it's a check, of course. Shouldn't make illegal moves. Okay, so technical win. Where do I hide? In my grandma's basement, I should hide. Where is this king going? I mean, king is close to pawn, so this should be winning. What the heck am I doing? I'm losing. Okay, so I'll have king d3 before, but then rook c3 intermezzo. So I'll probably have to, I don't know. It gives me this way. This is easy win. Okay, b4 or rook b5. Rook b5 easier. Then rook h5. I'll play with 3 pawns and I'll have to sacrifice my rook. Why so slow? Yes, a7 next. No, give me time. Come on. Let's go. Okay, e4. Finally, a chance to play Caro-Kann and d3. Wow, d3 bishop f4. So just inviting me to play some sort of endgame. Now, I don't know this variation of bishop f4 specifically. They do it more often, this position with knight on f3. But okay, I'll just play universal approach with g6. Shouldn't be that terrible. Oh, now this just feels like a great version for black, and I'm actually very tempted to play the special setup here, which is going to involve knight h6 placement. So bishop g7, and okay, I can do knight h6 right away. I can do also f6, e5. f6, it might give him c4, otherwise f6, it's a strange line, but this can become a thing here. Also, knight h6, queen d2 is what I'm not entirely sure about. Queen d2, knight f5. Okay, let's do knight h6. Queen d2, knight f5, it's okay. Could have played knight f6, just simple chess. But he went for such a sneaky opening, I have to up the ante. I'm not gonna chicken out from a fight. Okay. So if I do f6, he really has to do c4, otherwise you're getting cooked. c4, I have to play bishop e6. How's that position? Also, it helps that his knight's already committed on d2 and he doesn't have pressure in the center. You know what? It might not be the best move, but yeah. Considering the knight's already on d2, I feel like we have enough control over the center, and maybe now knight f5 and we have some pressure. Okay. Not so easy to defend because knight b3 would have dropped pawn, and now I take with bishop. Already take a knight d4 possibility. I don't love to like give up such a nice bishop, but okay, so take, that's just free pawn. Going for the free pony. You heard it. e5's coming. Just we went a little bit experimental mode with this Caro-Kann. Okay, bishop f4. This I'm sure it has already been played. I'm just like not aware of it. This is how people try to play Caro-Kann modern times. It's such a good opening. They do all these tricky ideas just to get you out of book, because the main lines are not gonna give white advantage. Okay, now it's a question of e5 or rook c8. Rook c8, I take with queen, he takes on e7. I mean, that rook looks very suspicious. Knight e6. How do we trap him? Knight e6, bishop e3. Queen d6, he takes on b7. Okay, whatever. We don't have time to do all this thinking. Can take and play rook c8. And then queen d5. Can also do rook c8. Bishop d4. Can even try bishop c4. Okay, there. b5 is a move. Bishop d4, bc. Bishop a7. And he wants to take and then play queen b3. So I wanna get the momentum and play b5. which means bishop d4 I'm taking. Okay, goes back, which is okay. I keep my strong bishop. I think I'm keeping my pawn in relatively the healthiest form possible. Expecting him to take and do knight f3. Okay, could also swap rooks first. Rook c3, probably not a great move. Now maybe even cleaner to play knight f5 and try to go for bishop. He has rook e6, but I can unpin with queen b, rook d3, but I can unpin with queen b7. I told you I never mispronounce a move. I almost did it, but no. Still on a perfect percentile. Okay, rook d8. So I wanted to avoid this trade because getting the isolated pawn can be a little bit difficult to sustain. Now bishop f8, simple move. Also bishop h6 to pin him. Probably even stronger. Yeah, reminding him of some problems. He's a little bit too confident. I mean, for the position. Queen c1. Okay, so now I have all types of move like bishop g2 that I have to consider. Bishop g2, bishop d2, rook d1, I'm getting pinned. Bishop g2, queen d2. Okay, I like that. Not a bishop that I wanna trade for a knight, but winning a pawn, getting some easy moves next. Okay, rook d3, I forgot to check. There is queen d3 also. But bishop d5 should be just enough. Can easily unpin. Also have knight d4. Hello, sir. Oh, he wants this. Oh, wait, I can take this. He'll take with rook and then I play knight d4. Completely winning, just need to speed up. He'll sacrifice some exchange. He'll certainly sacrifice one of the rooks. Otherwise, I play bishop f8 or queen d5. Yeah, I'm playing queen d5 next, if not sacrifice. Okay, we're gonna go endgame. I'll have queen g5 and rook d4 winning the piece. Yes, that's nice. That's actually important to make it easier. He's gonna take with both rooks on d4. I'll play queen g5. He'll do bishop g2. I trade a pair of rooks. He cannot unpin. And then I take on c5. In the cleanest form. Wait, maybe not. Forgot to double check if he has rook d8 idea, but can take with rook and play bishop f8 instead. Pretty sure. Oof. We're gonna get that. Rook d4, it's happening. No other move. Oh, he's not gonna have a rook anymore. Sorry, forgot about that detail. Okay, check him next. Yeah, okay, resigned. Okay. Jobava Caro-Kann win. Not entirely sure about my opening approach. But, well, just as someone adapting to him, this G6, okay, it's universal approach I give in my Caro-Kann course, but not on this move specifically. But usually whenever white plays with D3, so he's not taking the center, he's supposed to have pawn on D4 usually to be ambitious on Caro-Kann. When he plays like this with D3, quite a good opportunity to play fianchetto. Because the only problem in fianchetto is that you're losing control over the center. So if white enters now Carlsbad structure, not that big of a problem. Apparently easy equality, it's more bishop h6, but I remember this plan. And I knew this f6 idea, so I'll tell you one thing, how I actually came up with this during the game, because this is no preparation, but there is one line if, let's say you try to play classical, bishop d3, knight c6, c3, and say you do g6, bishop f4, bishop g7, knight f3. And in this position, people have experimented with f6, castle, and knight h6. And now the plan is, okay, if black goes knight f7, castle, e5, you could be winning easily. But white has this strong reaction with c4 followed by knight c3. And you're getting stormed in the center. So I sensed that we're getting an improved version in the game, because if you remember when I already did it, I played f6, I knew c4 it's coming, but the knight can no longer fight for the center. He can no longer put pressure on d5. So I felt, okay, I mean, we get this, but it should be more or less reasonable. I didn't evaluate that we're better. Yeah, like I played knight f5, pressure in the center, but okay, even nicer. b5, reasonable. Knight f5. Should have taken first to create the isolated pawn. Bishop h6, happy with this move. Bishop g2, good move. Bishop d5, and well, hopefully the conversion path was also okay. Yeah, pretty clean game overall. I'm actually happy with this one. So got to play only natural moves, and everything kind of made sense, which is a nice thing you can say at the end of your chess game. If everything kind of makes sense, that's one of the best feelings and best satisfactions that you get as someone who dedicates his life to this game. And also as a casual viewer, I think. Okay. Getting new game, international master. So currently having 4.5 points out of 7, which is pretty good for my standards. I'm on positive. It's actually, yeah, I'm on positive score. Bishop b4, very important that you do not rush with knight f3. So critical to watch out for knight e4 and start with the bishop. And now on c5, black wants to push and make the bishop more passive, which is the reason why we take. On bishop c3, we can take, and if queen a5, it's a possible line, but knight d7, he's going for the Stockfish favorite approach. We also had a game with it in previous Title Tuesday. Now, opponent takes on c3, which is more common, and bishop g5 is the key move. My opponent in previous tournament delayed that move, which kind of confused me, and allowed knight b5, if you guys remember. But now, yeah, b6, and the problem for him is that this can easily go wrong after knight e5 and knight g4. Many people now panic and go g5, if I remember correctly. Is this still the game against Kazgali of Murtas? Might be that game, although could be wrong. So point is bishop b7, okay, a g5 happens. And now knight e4, queen h5. So he does the other knight. Okay, this is possible. I don't remember what I'm supposed to do. Okay, so if take, knight takes, queen h5, king g7, f4. Might have to take with d pawn, but it's Not easy move to play. Most people take with knight, I assume. And I'm thinking we just go for similar stuff. Queen f6, both f4 and knight g4 are possible. Knight g4 very much just resembling Kasgaliev Murta's game, except he sort of did it with the other knight, which I'm not entirely sure what changes. It probably changes a lot of things. F4. Yeah, this is a tricky position where move by move knowledge really matters. And I plan to get better in these positions. It's just that I've optimized my knowledge, let's say, for the lines that you guys normally get online below 2000. Because, yeah, if, let's say, I could be an expert, know this 20 moves deep, which I'm planning to do eventually as I play more tournaments. But, okay, really understanding this position perfectly is not going to help you as a casual viewer below 2000. It's actually sort of a different window in chess in a way. It's a very unique variation that requires just to understand how to play this specific position, and you cannot really make analogy with anything else. Now, okay, wow, bishop there really makes me, I think he blundered. Makes me think he blundered. FG. Double attack. Has take with knight, but maybe already rook f7. Interesting move to calculate with queen g6. Rook f7, rook f7. Knight takes, could also just consider h4. Pretty boring move, but looks strong. Bishop f1, take with rook, and your knight is under attack. Wait, so this allows me to grab. I can also not grab. Maybe I was just a bit over ambitious with my play. So takes king h7, tries to use the pawn as an umbrella. There's also knight f7, rook f7, bishop e5. But then king g8, queen h6, threatening mate. Oh my god, that looks so interesting. If this works, what is going on? Okay, I don't know. Just throwing pieces in the air, hoping it sticks. Oh my. I don't see how he stops it, because check, king g8, bishop f5, rook h7 probably means I have queen g6 and I win rook. Actually, king f8, I have rook f1 with mate. So, yeah, I don't know. If this works, it could be one of my best games played of all time, but maybe not best as in difficulty, but aesthetic, I mean. Okay, so rook there. I have to take this way and play bishop e5. Boom. Rat is there, and it's not so easy to parry. And I also have this on the agenda. So he took very near to my king. That's the scary thing. Because in your mind, when you calculate some capture happens near your king, it's usually a red flag. But now the knight is paralyzed. I can maybe take. Because knight h7, I have queen g6, and I pick up rook. So probably just take with rook, and I'm easily winning. Also taking this makes sense, especially more with the bishop. It forces him to take, and then I take with a tempo, which he'll have to defend, and then after queen on 7th rank, I take with rook f1, threatening f7, which makes him play queen f7, but then rook f3, and he's in mating net. So yeah, bishop f6 is perhaps even cleaner. Yeah, bishop f6 I like. This move, bishop f6, it's like Anatoly the cleaner. Yes. I missed queen f8. Queen f8, defending with tempo, but I have at least queen g6 intermezzo, and then pick up the bishop. He's still busted. I'm just gonna work a bit with the mop on f6. Can you hold my mop? That's what Anatoly the cleaner would say. Okay. You guys thought I leave I live in a cave? You thought I don't know Anatoly the Cleaner? Come on. Come on, guys. Now, the irony of you not knowing it, that would be something. Okay, then I would be concerned. Okay. Okay, so Queen C7, I predicted that. Don't need to be a bookmaker like Grishuk would say. And yeah, now I was thinking Queen F7 and then this happens. But maybe he has Queen there, but F7 and then we promote the pawn. So this should be enough. And if Queen takes, yeah, okay. KKK. Whoa. I'm afraid to press this button. Okay, getting another white game. I feel like I don't know, out of how many rounds? 6 rounds so far. I play like 4 white games, or maybe I'm excited. Okay, this is 7th round. I'm playing for 4 white games, maybe more. I don't know. Feels like a lot. Playing against FIDE Master, so going Jobava London. C5 main line. A lot of people in Title Tuesday will just go for these takes and A6. Okay, E6, mistake, allowing knight B5. Already white is better after Excalibur knight. So key idea is to have knight protected when you do it, otherwise checking is possible. And now my plan is to do A4, bishop D3, knight F3. Okay, let's see. So this one you gotta be a little bit careful move order wise. I think now that he castled, I can even start H4. Could have also delayed castling for black. It's more interesting to play bishop D7 first, but yeah, now I want to enter this position and then do knight F3, bishop D3. My pawns are looking very funny, but whole point is that, okay, now we do have a pawn structure that is called Carlsbad. If you play Caro-Kann, you get this quite a lot with black pieces, same pawn structure. But the difference is my opponent's knight is frozen, and thanks to my 2 active knight and bishop, he doesn't have a minority attack, which is usually the way you get counterplay in Carlsbad structure. So the point of this Excalibur knight, okay, it's a great addition as a nice tool, but it's more of a prophylactic idea rather than attacking. Because you think, okay, we play knight B5, we gotta follow up the attack on that side. But this is more to like keep opponent in check, so he doesn't have that many moves, and then you still very much follow it up on the king with the attack. So considering knight G5, for instance. On that, usually you take with pawn, and then this is going to be a weakness in long run. I'm thinking knight G5 simply because F5 I have takes and then pawn on E6. There will be fork. And anything like that is decisively opening up file against the king. So simple threat of winning a pawn. Maybe also interesting to consider queen H5 next, and H6, take on E4, and the queen's actually protecting that pawn. It's a pretty funny line. And I also have bishop H6 on the radar. Yeah, F5, but can't I just win exchange? Probably just should stick with simple play. Also B6, AB, and then rook takes. And then if knight takes, I take on E6. Yeah, maybe B6 is even more clever. Oh, so pretty. Combining drawback of F5 move, B6 winning. So just deflection. This is not hope chess, this is just deflection. So it actually has a threat, and AB, I take rook. It's not an option to take with queen because knight remains undefended. And if, you take with knight, well, I just managed to successfully deflect you. And I win exchange, but I keep precious bishop. So I don't give one of my most active minor pieces for that. So I take, has to take with knight, and then it's going to leave this undefended. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. It only took 3 Title Tuesdays to get a nice game. Okay, so he decided to give me free piece. That was, well, an early Christmas gift. But yeah, so I need to be careful still. Probably best play now is to calm down and short castle. I think I go for short castle. No need for the crazy. Okay, bishop is undefended. I need to be careful, but I have still a weak pawn to play for on e6. So he tries that, but now it gives queen g4 double attack. Ceccarino Bambino, and I can take on d5 with queen e4. Can also be sneaky. Okay, let's be sneaky. Not so simple to defend bishop. It worked. There's a sneakiness. Okay. Well, Title Tuesday been very painful. Good news, I can win a game. Okay. So there is mate in one. There's mate in one. There's bishop. Which mate should you go for? So I normally, this just looks as a nicer construction aesthetically. Let me know in the comments which mate you would have played. Queen g7, just getting like the direct diagonal felt nicer. Okay. Yeah, very interesting stuff in the Jobava. This is okay more for like advanced players. So normally if I coach somebody in Jobava London from scratch, this knight b5 move is the least thing that I go over, because the mistake that happens with beginners that just get into the Jobava is they start playing it hoping for, okay, I'll play knight b5, I'll close my eyes and hope that I'll get a fork. But this can be a very problematic move if you don't know how to apply it correctly, because then, okay, very often opponent can defend and kick you back. So how people tend to make this mistake, they go, let's say, knight b5 here, and then knight e6, okay, black defends, you do whatever, and then c6. So your knight is getting kicked out by the pawn. But notice how in these c5 lines, after e3, e6, knight b5, knight e6, the pawn's been already committed before I play it. So knight b5, the pawn's already committed. It's not gonna be able to push back and kick this guy. Yeah. Okay, 27 candidate maestro from South Korea. Knight f3. Knight f3. Let's apply the King's Indian treatment. What do you do when you guys need some medicine? You apply the King's Indian treatment, aka not medical advice. My opponent does play the double fianchetto, where he also does it in such a way that it allows me to play e5, because when you do d6, quite often white plays d4, where it's pretty clever to actually delay the short castle. It's very important you strike right away. Beat the iron while it's hot. You guys like that expression. c5. The point is bishop g2. You have queen a5 check. I think it's key move. And then knight d2, knight d4. You play for that. Okay, bishop g2. I should probably do e5 then. We're gonna get some English position, typical to how, similar to how Jospem played it against Sindarov in World Cup. Yes, so d3 with c4. Now, I'm not entirely sure what is the best setup. So it's possible to do c5, knight c6 and play like Sindarov did it. I don't have time to overthink it. It's possible. It's going to be a little bit easier to play as white, but it's a game. Bishop e6, knight g5, so I'll just do h6, prepare bishop e6. It's very interesting to play as white in this fashion. I feel like this is where the theory will develop more and more in the future, simply because all the other openings are kind of um, oversaturated already. So people just look for new ways of playing chess, and they just dive more and more into openings like one knight f3 and the reti. Okay. They don't know Jobava London is a win by force. Poor chess improvers. What can I say? Now, bishop h3, so trading enemy fianchetto could be quite nice, as this bishop is a bit of a monster. Additionally, knight e7, d5. Could also play it that way, but just bishop h3, simple chess. Point is I can trade and do knight e7. Yeah, now very important, I go about this in my book on fundamental, when opponent has strong knight. Normally, if you cannot exchange it right away, this is what I called the trading offer. So keep an eye on my upcoming book on the fundamentals. I literally just finished part in the book about removing enemy pieces from our half. So 97, very cool that we get to apply simple fundamental. I should be okay. Probably engine still slightly favors white, but it's not so easy. Yes, it's bishop on b2 looks optically nicer than my own bishop that's restricted by the own pawn, but okay, I mean, white's gonna try to get some a3 b4, but it's just not that easy to create a weakness. So this can easily go into rather equal territory, but in blitz, anything can happen later. So I shouldn't do e4. That would be a terrible move, because he trades, and then after de, your pawn becomes weak. So I much rather do f5, and if f4 takes. Yeah. f4 takes, and then we try to do something on e2. Otherwise, maybe just play f4 myself. I want to be careful with it, though, because white will try to play f3 and g4 and set up a bind. E3 part of the plan. Still, f4 feels rather nice. ef, f3 idea. Okay, it's risky, but it looks good. It's the type of move you make in blitz. Now what? Can do that. King h1. Wow. Can also just take with queen. Yeah, I'll play it like this first. Just staying flexible. If gf, I had queen d4, and now can do that, and queen d7. Say whatever. He plays rook e4. I do queen h3, rook g1. So how about f3, king h1? Okay, so f3 kind of has to be played. Now that I went for attack. You can also just double up rooks, or play rook f5. Yeah, so rook f5 I'll do. Feels more like in control, not afraid of g4 because I do f3, and then this becomes target. And I just want to triple with fg idea. f3 felt a bit too risky. Okay, so I saw this, but I wanted to do this and g5. So point is white wants f4. Maybe I can just do it, and if f4, g5, I knock at the door. So yes, white has open file, but for instance, now unprotected rook, I have take and queen f7, win back pawn. Yeah, I think this is how I do it. Rook e6, it's drawback of the move, unprotected rook. He'll be vulnerable to queen e6, so he had weakness, I just exploit weakness. Probably upcoming position is still objectively draw, but maybe a bit easier for me to play. Although, maybe just forced draw. Okay, so this, I have to take, looks like no choice, and queen f5 should be good. Queen f6 should be good. Can also do king up. Let's do king up. Protect. Equal position as I said a little bit earlier. Let's have an idea. I would rather avoid playing for that, so I'll just stop his move. Now his queen's actually a bit more active than mine. This could get annoying. This is not something to take very lightly. I could easily get outplayed here, especially with no time. Yeah, I'm gonna get flagged, obviously, but nature of this tournament with no increment. Not gonna be threefold. He'll keep checking me randomly. Now he'll move a pawn so that there's no more repetition ever. Okay, this is a perpetual mechanism. Wow. He even managed to not beat me on time. Okay. He gave me perpetual triangle, just little geometrical motif. Oh, well, just nothing special. Played sort of correct chess, and this is what you get. Yeah. Oh, no. I don't have the chessboard selected in recording. Okay, good to go. Right, everybody. We're back to some title Tuesday. And we're gonna be attempting some Jobava Londonino Cappuccino. Okay, c5. Why is my opponent rated 3 million on chess.com? That's a little bit spooky. Let's go for a6. We actually had this line in one of the previous games of the last Title Tuesday video I made. So we're gonna repeat. So far so good. This is mainline stuff. I hope recording and everything works fine. Looks like that. And yeah, I'm a little bit late. Apologies for that. I started the game with a small 12-second delay. Okay, so h6, everything theory. So far I had this position more times than you guys had Coca-Cola. Maybe that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but I have played this close to 100 times, maybe. Okay, so queen c7, this is still part of my theory. I used to play queen e3 in the past. More recently, I switched to trade and then I reroute to b3. I think some, okay, small plus for why, just slightly more pleasant game in these pawn storm-like positions. Okay. Knight a4, knight c5. This was a thematic maneuver, by the way. If I do knight c5, I think e5 can be annoying as de. Okay, de, queen c5, ef. So, could jump right away. I remember one game it went knight a4, knight bc5, and then queen b3. Knight a4 usually, I would say, pretty standard. Anyways, black tends to play knight d7 in these games. Rook c8 also part of the move, part of the plan. Yeah, I just have to play very fast, and apologies for not being able to explain everything that I'm doing super deeply. It's just kind of nature of Title Tuesday, and my opponent plays very fast too. Okay, rook c8. So I have idea to play for mate. Queen b3, knight a5. I have queen b4 maybe. Queen b4. Interesting move. Okay, I have to play queen b3, I guess. You know, just doing my thing. Threatening to mate on b7 and also threatening to take. So my opponent doesn't have that many moves to defend against it. I was looking knight a5, queen b4. I couldn't see how he protects a5 knight and pawn on a6 simultaneously. So perhaps knight d8 is a little bit safer. But knight d8 is kind of passive. I have strong piece. Knight d8, I should be better anyways. Okay, question is what plan to go for? Some rook d3 could be nice with potentially queen a4, rook b3. I just need to double check if I'm being threatened with e5. e5 could be a move that the opponent is willing to play. Also, rook e1, e5 might not be fully stopped. As rook e5, there is rook takes c5 trick, maybe. I don't know. f4, interesting idea to stop e5. You cannot take with queen because I take a6. Yeah, rook d3, e5. I'm wondering if it's actually that problematic. Okay, I'll play f4. I want to stop his counterplay. Maybe it's a little bit overcautious. Could be king a7, so he's preparing b6 without losing the pawn on a6. Also, he's threatening queen grab. Yes, but rook f1 could be a move. I just need something to protect the pawn. Yes, rook f1. b6, I'll just go back and reroute to e5. If he goes for knight trade, I can take this way, and pawn on f7 is directly attacked by the rook. Could be tiny edge. Okay, so c3 now, rook c7. Is he planning b6? I don't get that move. He just wants to move knight, maybe. Yeah, having said so, I can still do this thing. Yeah, let me do knight d3, knight e5. I'll provoke f6 and infiltrate. Or if he goes f6, then we have target. So I'll play for rook e1, c3, and try to double up rooks on the pawn. Otherwise, I will get a strong knight. So yes, now knight e5 was planned, and take with f pawn, attack f7. Opponent plays very fast. I mean, not really great. I should be like slightly better, but plays very fast. So it's a no increment game. It's gonna be very tough for me. I'm expecting him to do some knight c4, just some confusing business. Anyways, I should be looking at f5 in near future. So f5 pawn break, ef, and maybe even g takes with rook g1. So this way. Okay, so do I want to go for the juicy square, or do I want to keep knight closer to my king? Okay, I guess closer to king is better. This is tempo move, but shouldn't be a problem. Okay, queen c1, maybe simply planning to go b3 and... Okay, not immediately, but at some point. I'll have to play some rook f2 to keep c2 nicely protected. And maybe next up some rook e1, rook e2, pawn to c3 with knight on d3. I'm very safe. Knight protects pawn. Also he has target. Yeah, maybe he should do e5 just to activate. Otherwise he might get a good grip. Yes, rook e1. Not afraid of rook b6 because of c3, or yeah, even king a1. Yeah, king a1 should be a safe move now. I should be better positionally. This attack should lead nowhere, and I have weak pawn, and he doesn't have a weak pawn to play for. c3, rook e2, and then okay, yes, he's still pretending. Maybe I could have gone knight c5. Now this opens up door for b3 and my rook connects. Also rook e2, maybe I could have played it with a tempo. Just playing a bit safer for time scramble. Rook c7, so just same kind of move, not doing much. b3, okay, I have to downgrade his pieces, feels like. Maybe a4, could consider. a4, a4 almost trapping that. Huh. Okay, knight c5, and if e5 I do a4, I have at least it's protected. Yeah, a4, rook is almost trapped. I'll be able to take on e5. I'll also be able to do g5. He's not threatening anything with that pawn move. I'm wondering if that maybe just b4. Yes, so he has to... Wait, what? Okay, trade. Infiltrate. Rook e3 he takes. Queen a3 he takes with rook. I have to go back. No, but I have this. Has to sack queen maybe or go trades. Tricky, tricky, tricky. No time. Tricky business with no time. Tricky business also with time, maybe. I don't know why I'm giving him that pawn. That was such an idiotic move I just played. I gave him knight c3. Shit. Now he has this move coming. Oh my god, I completely fumbled this in time trouble. Yeah, I'm just gonna lose on time. So pathetic. So idiotic. Wow, rook g6, such a throw. Come on, rook g6. Okay, it's not an easy position to play. Oof. This guy was playing very fast. I was outplaying him, but I play much faster. Yeah. Well, what to do? I felt very good about my play until I went for b4. b4, I'm not sure, but okay, +3 position. He got squeezed on queen side. He got squeezed with pawn play. I'm pretty happy about okay, opening face and the way I maneuvered around. Okay, I'm just super happy about this f4 move. Not an easy find. Oh no! I am late to the round. Candidate master, millionth white game in a row. I'll actually count how many white games I'm getting this tournament. It's pretty insane. So far, this is like 10th round. I must have been this has to be at least 6th white game. I'm surprised. Yeah, I'll probably just finish with 2 blacks, but okay, let's not worry about it. We have Jobava London against Fianchiero, but it's not any Fianchetto. It's not a King's Indian. King's Indian is with pawn on d7 or on d6. With pawn on d5, this is a Grunfeld. So against the Grunfeld, we gotta do Grunfeld things, which is h4. Looking to sacrifice that rook baby, which my opponent knew about, apparently. Well, it's common knowledge at this point. This would have been new like 10 years ago. But, okay, 95 c5, and now the precise place to do, okay, so if you start f3, queen b6 is a bit annoying, so I don't have queen d2, queen b6, and castle. And on knight c6, I'll do f3. It's also possible if you want to play for trick, dc, but it's not the best. I did it a few times, but just for a trick. Not my style. Okay, so knight c6. So f3 I have to play now. And the point is to delay castle and on bishop f5 to bishop b5. I even had over the board game like this. I'll link it on the screen. I had this position and rook c8. It's what people usually do. It's possible to take and then play knight d7. I will castle long in that. Knight d7, knight e5, and bishop h6. And it's where the theory starts, no, not where it ends. So this is the type of game where if I focused on playing online blitz instead of writing beginner books, I would really gather more experience and know everything inside out. But for now, okay, we'll try to figure it out together. Plan is to take on g7. Also, yeah, I think I might have messed up my theory. Yeah, I completely messed up my theory. I was supposed to do rook e1 first, knight c6, and then the bishop h6. Yeah, wow. I so fumbled it, which is why my opponent is pausing. Bishop h6, he's thinking, what? What did he do? Bishop what? Probably this is okay. It's just I missed on a chance to make the knight more passive. And I'm not even threatening to play queen d4 because f6 will be unpinning. So I don't know exactly why I made the move I did. I'll play rook e1 next and hope for a transposition. We might be able to transpose. I don't see d4 as being problematic. I have bishop trade intermezzo and dc queen c3. And yeah, I might just do takes, rook e1, knight c6, and then some g4. Okay, so a6 is type of move that makes sense. Might have managed to confuse my opponent a little bit. Does it make sense to trade rook e1, ab, rook e5, b4, knight d5? Knight d5, rook a2, queen d4. Okay, we'll justify it that way. If it works, it's a genius plan. If not, well, mistakes were made. Okay, also possible to just do bishop e2 and... okay, I mean, I rushed with the trade. I don't like how I'm playing. I'll try to be consistent, although I sort of forgot that there's possibility of knight f3. I'll try to be consistent with my previous move. Hoping we get back in theory with knight c6. I don't know what I'm supposed to do there. Maybe takes and g4. Yeah, I remember it's actually theory if he goes. Because bishop cannot take twice, I'll have queen d4. Yeah, hoping knight c6. Probably AB is very tempting, but it looked good for white after knight d5, rook a2, queen d4. I have room for king and also rook e7 idea. Yeah, okay. You don't want to know what mess is in my brain right now, trust me. Rook e1, I'll have to check my analysis. Okay. Okay. Rook a2 looked scary, capturing near the king, but queen d4 double attack. Yeah, so queen d4, boop, boop. I thought it's okay. Yeah, we can trade, but still double threat. My pieces are a bit undefended, true. But if I get to play rook e7, that comes with a knight f6 idea. So I was expecting something like king h7, but then I just take. And I don't see how black untangles. Pawn on f6 is looming. I'm not sure that actually achieves anything. Yeah, so rook takes bishop e6. Do I have a safe play there? So there is knight f6, king g7. I have perpetual maybe. Okay, so I have to take this way and then think. Bishop e6 looks like only attempt. Yeah, and now knight f6, king g7. I even have maybe double check. King h6. Okay. Knight f6, king g7. I have knight e8 winning queen. So pretty. Double check winning queen. Come on. Because if he doesn't go next to the knight, I can trade and play that endgame. So it's tempting to blunder. Come on! Double check! Oh my. So opponent just thought, okay, there's no way this guy has mate. I mean, he's pinned, but forgot I can just break the communication lines, which is, yeah, I saw it coming. I don't know what this game was about. We got a 90, but you see there was this little slippery slope. That was bishop h6. Yeah, so here I realized I'm supposed to play rook e1. I told you I looked this up. Okay, luckily after a6, I came up with a way to justify it. All right, everybody, so far I am on 6.5 out of 10 rounds. I just excluded a bunch of stupid losses that I had from the video. And in the last game, we are facing Samuel, a very strong and experienced grandmaster, top 100 player. So let's see what happened. E4 player. E4 player, let's try Caro-Kann. I actually looked it up. He also plays advanced. So let me try my new line. And I told you in previous episode that I will try with e6. I looked it up this morning. I wanted to do e6 if he does it. But c3, okay. Okay. Bishop b5, now queen a5, critical move. This is also very common in beginner level games. Bishop b5 happens. Bishop a4 though. Now I don't remember everything. I was thinking cd is good. Queen d4, we just unpin. And b4, yes, possible, but queen b6 should be okay. I mean, queen d4, I guess, but at least trade and bishop d7. Queen d4, I can also consider the other one. Very unexpected line. Like I don't see strong players usually going for this bishop b5. So it's kind of puzzling for me. Like if you do c3, it's possible to play bishop e2 here, for instance, or a3 or bishop e3. Why there's a lot of interesting tries, even if you play it with c3. But bishop b5, yeah, he's probably surprised by my queen a5 very deep knowledge. Move, okay, it's mentioned in my Caro-Kann course, of course. The men of culture already know. So, yeah, expecting him to do queen d4. I mean, queen d4, take, and then bishop c6 is probably best. I take with pawn, he takes there, and then I have e6, bishop d2, a5. I can try sacrifice pawn. ba, c5. I don't know. Tempting to do, but not guaranteed I win it back. Okay, he's also quite slow. If I speed up, this is good chance we make it out of the opening alive. Okay, b5, so he just gives me free pawn. I have to take it. Obviously, no reason not to take this pawn. And now where to put knight? c4 is active square enough. Bishop g4, f3. Not really something I want to do, I imagine. Okay, just knight on strong square. Oh, I also had the queen a5 idea to consider. Forgot for a second. Knight f6. Bishop g4 next. Just get bishop outside the pawn chain. Bishop g4, e6, bishop d6. Next moves. Okay, so knight e2, I can still sort of provoke this small weakening. So f3, I drop it back. If he castles, even e5, now that I created that. Okay, so bishop back, h4, h5. Still castle considering e5. Ah, I forgot about this. Completely forgot about g4 being a move. Although, yeah, maybe I'm also, it's kind of good in a way that I'm baiting him to play aggressive because this is not a great position for white. So maybe I have just a decent check. I can also put knight on h5. Not entirely clear where it's going to be better placed. Guess on h5 as a blockade, but could be wrong. d7 is safer. Didn't feel like I have to play safe chess. Now bishop d2. I made this a mess now, which I wasn't supposed to. Like everything is about to trade on d2 and I'll play rook c8. Okay, this, but e6. Getting my stuff developed. Knight goes back to c3 and can play rook d8 or bishop e7. Rook d8 feels a bit more powerful. Wait, what? Oh, no way. Oh, no way. I just blundered this. Wow, I completely blundered this idea. Wow, so naive. I still have two pieces, so not entirely over, but there's queen a4. I don't get to stabilize. If I had to, if I was able to stabilize, then this is tricky, but nah. Disaster throw. What a last round throw. What a last round throw. 97 queen c8, yes. Pretty disgusting throw, but we can still flag him. Although he has autopilot moves now. Dude. If I put this damn knight on d7, it never happens. Just why so clever? Oh, come on. Such a stupid loss. Just winning out of the opening and resigning one move. Jesus. Okay, bishop f5, e6 -2. How on earth it's possible to lose that position in 3 moves? This is mind-boggling. Okay, you know what? It is actually what I did a much bigger achievement, because give this as an exercise to someone. How do you lose this position in 5 moves as black? It's impossible. How do you win it easily? Everybody will find. Oh my God. Yeah, well, it's easy to underestimate the pawn play. I simply overlooked from afar that I'm opening myself for counterplay on d5. Still, I can play knight d7 and I will do just fine. But when you play so stupidly, you do it till the end, usually. Okay. 6.5 out of 11. If you asked me before, I would have said that's a good run. So we'll finish it on this score. Thanks everybody for making it all the way this far into the video. Now, in case you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to my newsletter. because I am about to drop some heavy knowledge and some really valuable books. So, yeah, go onto my website, subscribe to that, and that's about it. I'll catch you guys in the next one.